This model we're talking about is pinnacle. That's when people follow you for who you are and for what you represent. You got to always be closing. ABC. Always be closing. Always be pursuing sales opportunities to close. Prime opportunities as well as sub opportunities. Sales cure all. If there's any major issues in the business, more sales will normally solve that problem. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Curtis A. Merriweather Jr. As many of you know, in 2020, I was named a game changer by the White House Policy Advisor for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And I want to serve as your government contracting coach. Now, the purpose of this channel is to educate entrepreneurs and government contractors. Now, the way we do this is by providing education, consultation, and training support services. Now, our channel is unlike other channels because it's based on 27 plus years of progressive experience, lessons learned, and advanced education. And the goal of this channel is to lower your learning curve. We want you to find success faster, so we provide actionable tools that you can use to accelerate your government contracting journey. The URL on the screen is our training platform, which is 8figuregovcon.com. That is a website, a teaching platform that I have curated with over 25 to 30 hours of on-demand education. You'll get 2 monthly Zooms from me a month and also a one-on-one at no additional cost. I spend about 4 to 8 hours a month in contact hours with my students. Again, the goal is to give you the information you need to find success in your government contracting journey. Now, you can go to our course store library, and again, the URL is on the screen. Now, as many of you know, I have put my bid in for mayor of North Charleston. Now, as a result, I have placed a special, I think this is the biggest discount I've given to date on YouTube. We're doing a 23% discount code. It's going to be mayoral race. So talking about the mayor race, mayoral race is the coupon code. You're going to get a 23% discount. And that discount code is going to expire on August 23rd, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is commemorating the mayoral race. Again, this is commemorating the mayoral race for 2023. Now, I get a bunch of emails and direct messages, people wanting to ask me questions on a monthly basis. So I'll be doing my next free information session on September 12th. That's a Tuesday night. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will talk for about 30 to 45 minutes, just providing an overview of the program. But at the end, which I think is the most important part, it's going to give you an opportunity to ask me your questions live. So September 12th, 2023, mark your calendar, free information session. The details will be below this video so you can register. Registration is required. Now that we have all of that out the way, I want you to like, share, and subscribe this video, and also hit the notification bell. And the reason for the notification bell is anytime I release new content, you will receive a prompt notification so you do not get behind in the videos. Today, I want to talk about unveiling the path to government contracting success. You know, success leaves clues. So I plan to give you some of those clues for success today in this power-packed video. So without further ado, I want to just jump into the content. Now, before I make my screen presentations, I want you guys in the comments to let me know, do you like it when I use actual presentations or if I just talk free flowing? So I want to hear from you. This channel is about you. So if you find it helpful when I actually do screen presentations, let me know. If you rather me just talk freely without any prompts, let me know that as well. We want to make sure that we curate a channel that meets your needs best. And I want to know how to best do that and how to best serve you. So comments below the video would be super, super helpful. Okay. Very first thing I want to talk about is many of you all are entrepreneurs or CEOs, also known as a chief executive officer. Now, the CEO, as many of you know, is the highest ranking executive within a company. This is the entrepreneur, also the founder. Now, as a founder slash CEO, you are responsible for making major corporate decisions. When many of us get started, we're responsible for all of the decisions. But as the company grows and we get staff and we add infrastructure, we're going to make most of the major decisions as our businesses grow and scale. Managing the company's resources and operations is another major responsibility for CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs. We also have to communicate with our board of directors, our management team, and corporate operations. Now, if you're a new CEO or a new entrepreneur, I do recommend that you create a board of directors, which has a little more teeth, or a board of governors. Either way, you want an advisory of peers that's going to help you navigate the ebb and flow that we call government contracting. So you are the CEO, you are the entrepreneur, and you are also the founder. Now, later on, as the organization grows, you will also be the chairman of your board. If you're a new, if this is new to you, you're also the chairman of your board. So you're chairman, CEO, as well as founder, and of course, our job function is entrepreneurs. So I do recommend that you find you either a board of directors, and we're not going to get into the different structures today, or a board of advisors. And the reasoning for this is you want to make sure you have that overarching governance needed to effectively run the company. You want a diverse group of either advisors and or directors, and maybe I'll do a future video talking about the difference, so that you can properly navigate that company. And you want diversity of perspective. So it's going to be helpful to bring in a unique, eclectic group of people to help you watch the company's proverbial blind spots so that you can better navigate and govern the company overall. Number one, so as CEO, you have to lead. You have to lead. It's the job of the CEO to lead and provide direction for the organization. We have to put the right people in the right places at the right time. We have to lead by example. One of the models I really try to live by and embody is this model of servant leadership. I try to make sure that I serve my employees so that we can hit the overarching goals of the organization. Now, I want to talk about this 5 levels of leadership. The lowest level of leadership is positional leadership. This is when people follow you for no other reason because you have a title, whether it's CEO, COO, CMO, director, VP, senior executive VP, whatever title. When people are following you for no other reason because you have someone that's giving you a position, you have a big title, that is the lowest form of leadership. The second level of leadership is permission-based leadership. This is when someone gives you the permission to lead them. This is a higher level of leadership than positional. So positional was number one. Permission-based is going to be number two. This is where people give you the opportunity to lead them. Maybe they saw something in you that's worthy of being followed, so they give you their permission. Third is expert. People follow you because maybe you're good at what you do. You'll see sometimes former generals who will leave military service, start a company, and people will follow that general to their new business venture because of their proficiency in leadership as a general in the military. Or maybe you are great at what you do as a technician, or as a technologist, or futurist. Some expert reason you're good at what you do. Other people have found merit in the craft and the work that you perform, and they follow you for that reason. The fourth reason, and this is where we should all get, is because you're a reproducer. So folks are following you because you are a reproducer of reproducers. You have learned how to create carbon copies of yourselves. If you look at what we call the PayPal mafia, you'll see that most of those people who were on the founders team, for lack of a better term, at PayPal. All of them now went in different directions, and then most of them are successful entrepreneurs in other ventures. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, can you reproduce yourself? Can you reproduce yourself? So we have to be a reproducers of reproducers. That's fourth. Now, last but not least, is pinnacle. This is when people follow you because of who you are and what you represent. This is the highest form of leadership. Now, our good friend Dr. John Maxwell says that leadership is nothing more than influence. So we've talked about 5 levels of leadership, or 5 levels of influence. The first being positional. I'm following you because of your title. Second being permission based. I'm following you because I've given you the permission to lead me. Third is because you're an expert. You're great at what you do. Fourth, you are a reproducer. So you are a producer of reproducers. You are a producer of producers. And then last but not least, it's the highest level in this model we're talking about. It's pinnacle. That's when people follow you for who you are and for what you represent. So as a CEO, as a founder, as a new entrepreneur, it is incumbent upon you to lead. Now, number 2, as a founder, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, or whatever role you may be into, I want to make sure it's clear that I talk to both entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs. Intrapreneurs are people who are entrepreneurial, but maybe working within the confines of someone else's company. So these all still apply to you. You got to still lead. And you need to also, number 2, you need to help establish or maintain corporate culture. There's a saying that says your vibe will attract your tribe. Your vibe will attract your tribe. This is talking about culture. And in this case, we're talking about corporate culture. Corporate culture, by definition, refers to the behaviors, the beliefs, and values determining how a company's employees and management team interacts, performs, and handles business transactions. This speaks to how do we do what we do. That's the corporate culture. What is your company known by? What is the ethos? When people think about you and the organization you lead, what comes to mind? It says a lot about the underlying culture in the organization, because the culture either permits or denies individuals from taking certain actions. And one of the ways we check culture is we may tell new employees, we don't do that over here. I understand you may have done that at your other organization, but that's not something we do here. If you have children, you may tell your child they went to go visit a friend and they come back home doing something they saw the friend do. You may tell your child, hey, they do that there. That's not what we do here. You're setting corporate culture. We set corporate culture in home, but we also have to set corporate culture in the workforce, especially as leaders. Now, number 3, we have to lead the organization with KPIs, also known as key performance indicators. We do not drive our companies by the seat of our pants. Key performance indicators are the critical or the key quantifiable indicators of progress toward an intended result. This is how we track progress. These are our metrics. You do not get what you expect, you get what you inspect. Let me say it again. You do not get what you expect, you get what you inspect. You have to check the checkers. KPIs focus on strategic and tactical metrics, operational improvement goals, and associated metrics. You may be tracking employees metrics, project risk measures. You may be looking at your employee turnover. You may be looking at how well your projects are performing, either from an agile or from an earned value management perspective. You may be looking at risk measures. Are we accepting, avoiding, mitigating, transferring, and accepting risk? And what are the metrics around that? We have to create an analytical basis for decision making. We want to make as many decisions as we can, evidence-based, based on real numbers, not based on hunches. We want to make as many evidence-based measures as possible. Now, I recognize as CEOs, we don't have all the data, but let's make the best decisions we can with the data that we have available. And we have to help focus attention on what matters most. KPIs should be capturing. We have to set the key performance indicators. And you're going to set the key performance indicators based on your leadership and the culture and what things you want to monitor within the organization. Let's keep moving. Number 4, Once you set your KPIs, you got to know your numbers. You got to drive the business based on P&L, profit and loss, also known as an income statement. We have to drive the business based on the numbers. We cannot drive our businesses in the dark. We don't drive in the dark, so you can't drive your business in the dark. You have to make small incremental adjustments along the way. We do not drive businesses blindly, but we must use financial metrics to assess the financial viability of the business. You need to, at a minimum, have a wrap rate. I did prior videos on pricing. Please go back and watch those where I talk about the wrap rate. What is your burn rate? What are your working capital numbers? Do we have asset turnover, current ratio, liquidity ratio, return on equity, return on investment? You have to drive the business based on the numbers, and the numbers that you deem to be of paramount importance to you and your business. No two businesses are the same, and no two leaders are the same. So you got to figure out what the KPIs are. You need to know the KPIs, and you need to monitor and make incremental adjustments along the way so you can get the intended output that you expect. We have to be raising capital and fundraising. We have to build relationships with angel investors, capital commercial bankers, factoring companies, venture capital, and private equity. Now, most new businesses are not what I call bankable. Most new businesses is not about your personal credit score and your personal credit worthiness. I'm not talking about trade accounts. I'm talking about lines of credit from your bank. Most new businesses are not in a position to get financing from a bank. Typically, banks want to see 3 years of taxes and 3 years of financial statements. So they want to see 3 years of personal and corporate taxes, both your personal and your corporate, and they want 3 years of financial statements. At a minimum, your income statement, known also as a profit and loss or P&L, and your balance sheet. The income statement is going to give some ideas about the inflows and outflows of the business from a revenue and an expense perspective at a very high level, and probably also provide some insight on operating expenses. Your balance sheet is going to talk about the assets, liabilities, and the equity within the business. You can include a statement of cash flows, which will talk about some of the direction of money movement, but we need to make sure that you have at least your income and your balance sheet, and you can have a statement of cash flows, which will talk about some of the major activities that finance may be moving in, and they're typically in 3 major categories. But I'm not talking about this to make you an expert in accounting. Okay, continuous process improvement. We have to always be getting better. I want you guys to position yourself as learning organizations. I want you to always be finding out ways to better your best based on the things and insights and trends that you observe and that you react to. We have to continue always refining. There's something from a Lean Six Sigma perspective called DMAIC. We want to define, we want to measure, we want to analyze, we want to improve and control the organization. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. This is a iterative feedback loop that we want to keep moving the company better and better toward our aspirational goals. We want to try to hit our aspirational goals. We want to continue hitting our aspirational goals. This is what you envision the company to be. And do you have a roadmap and how to get there? So as learning organizations, we have to create repositories and lesson learned. Maybe you might want to use something like brown bag luncheons. How do we evolve? How do we get better as an organization is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about CPI, continuous process improvement. Not to be confused with the consumer pricing index. That's economics. We're talking about continuous process improvement. How do we better our best? Now, last but not least, we got to always be closing. ABC. Always be closing. Always be pursuing sales opportunities to close, both short and longer game, both prime opportunities as well as sub opportunities. We have to raise revenues. Sales cure all. If there's any major issues in the business, more sales will normally solve that problem. Now, we have to always manage the money that comes in. I'm not saying that you can just keep selling, selling, selling. We do have to manage, and project management and financial management are extremely important, but revenue normally cures all problems that a business has. Businesses always need more money. And then when they get more money, how are they going to deploy that capital in a smart, effective, and efficient manner? And when I'm talking about ABC, always be closing, you got to learn how to be easy to do business with. You don't want to make your customers have to work extremely hard to do business with you. Just our customers are like electrical circuits. They're going to follow the path of least resistance. So although you may be great at what you do, if you're hard to do business with you, you may unknowingly be creating an impediment for your customers. So be easy to do business with. Be easy to do business with. I have to say that. It's not enough just to have a business. You have to be easy to do business with. But that's all I have for this week's episode. I hope that the tips that I shared in this video were enlightening and making you think in a different path. On this channel, I don't want to talk about a whole bunch of get-rich-quick schemes and things of that nature. We want to give you actionable things that you can think about that's going to help you level up your business acumen. I want government contracting, as you all know, changed my life, and I know it can change yours. So I want to leave you with actionable tips, tricks, and techniques that will help you to better navigate this road we call government contracting. Well, that's all I have for this video. I want you to go back and watch some of my previous, and I'm going to see you in a future episode. Until next time.